Welcome to course Company Law and Secretarial Practice. Myself Sridevi, Senior Grade Lecturer, Government Polytechnic, Bidar. Today's session is Unit 2 Company Formation. Session 18. Table of Contents. Legal requirements of prospectus. Learning objectives to analyze the legal provisions in the formation of the company, to acquire the knowledge and understand the importance of legal requirements of prospectus of the company. Legal requirements of prospectus. Today's session, legal requirements of prospectus. In the previous classes, you have learned about the meaning and contents of prospectus. So today's legal requirements, that are rules and provisions relating to the issue of prospectus of the company. First one, issued after incorporation of the company. So generally in case of the public company having the share capital, so they have to follow the four stages in the formation of the company. Soon after getting the incorporation certificate, so they have to issue the prospectus in order to subscribe the capital of the company. So that case, after getting the incorporation certificate, so such companies, they have to issue the prospectus. Prospectus must be dated. The prospectus of the company must be dated. If no any date is mentioned, the date of the publication itself is the date of the prospectus. Publication must be registered. The publication must be registered. That means a copy of the prospectus which is signed by every director or proposed director of the company must be filed with the registrar of companies for registration before it is issued to the public. Expert to be unconnected with the formation of the company. So the expert should not be connected to the any of the stages of the formation of the company. Next one, terms of the statement not to be varied. So terms of the statement content not to be varied. That means after the registration of the prospectus, the terms of any contract stated in the prospectus cannot varied except with the approval of the members in the general meeting. Every application form to be accompanied with a copy of prospectus. That means, so whatever the applications are to be issued to the public in order to subscribe to the shares, so in that case, that application to be accompanied with the copy of the prospectus. Contents as per Schedule 2. So, according to the Companies Act of 1956, in Schedule 2, there are three parts. Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3. In these three parts, the information relating to the or the contents which are general and financial information, so that to be contained in the prospectus. So these are some of the legal requirements of the prospectus. Liabilities were misstatement in the prospectus. So there are two liabilities. One is the civil liability. Second one is the criminal liability. Coming to the civil liability. If any person has purchased shares or debentures from a company on the basis of the information given in the prospectus which is misleading, that means the person who has purchased the shares and debentures of that company on the basis of the terms and conditions specified in the prospectus, and such prospectus is misleading. So in that case, he can rescind the contract. The right of rescission is, however, lost. The injured person, that means the person who has lost for the purchase of the shares, who has been under the loss due to the misstatement in the prospectus. So such person, injured person, can also claim damages from the promoters, directors and any other person who authorized the issue of the prospectus. So however, several defenses are open to those persons. They are withdraw is concerned to become a director. So in that case, the person who are responsible or authorized to issue the director, he may withdraw his consent to become as a director. It was issued without his knowledge or consent. So the authorized person for the issue of the prospectus. So such persons, the promoters or directors or managing directors or such other persons, they may say or they may withdraw, and also without their consent or without their knowledge the prospectus has been issued. Before allotment, immediately after becoming aware of the false statement, the person who is responsible or authorized to issue the prospectus, withdraws his consent to do the issue. So in that case, the authorized person who are responsible for the issue of the prospectus, immediately after allotment, immediately before allotment, immediately after becoming aware of the false statement, so they may withdraw their consent with the reasonable grounds to believe that the statement was true. Coming to the criminal liability, that also the Companies Act also provide for criminal liability for giving an untrue statement in a prospectus. Thus, every person who authorizes the issue is punishable with imprisonment extending to 2 years or with a fine up to rupees 5,000 or with both. The person who is responsible for the issue of prospectus, in that case, so the criminal liability for giving, and the Act also provides for the criminal liability for giving an untrue statement in the prospectus. So that such authorized person for the issue of the prospectus is punishable with imprisonment extending up to 2 years or with a fine of rupees 5,000 or with both. However, he may escape from such liability only if he can prove that the statement was immaterial or that he had reasonable grounds to believe that and did believe up to the time of issue of prospectus that the statement was true. Coming to the multi-choice questions on prospectus, session 18. First one, the prospectus must be signed by all the. There are four options. First one, shareholders, directors or proposed directors, promoters or underwriters. Second one is the correct answer. Coming to the second one, the company bond filed with the registrar a copy of the prospectus before it being issued to the public. Yes, a copy of the prospectus must be filed with the registrar before it is to be issued to the public. Yes, it is true. Which of the following companies must file a statement in lieu of prospectus? A private limited company, cooperative society, a company that has issued a prospectus, a public company that has not issued a prospectus. Yes, last one, a public company that has not issued a prospectus. So the fourth one is the correct answer. The D point is the correct one. The prospectus must be issued to the public within dash days of the date on which a copy thereof has been filed with the registrar of companies. That is, within 90 days, the prospectus must be issued to the public after registering the prospectus with the registrar of companies. A resolution must be passed at the dash meeting authorizing the issue of the prospectus. At which meeting? Board of Directors meeting, shareholders meeting, A and B, and none of these. Yes, first one is the correct answer. At the first board meeting, the prospectus are to be authorized to issue the prospectus. Next question. There is no liability of the company as such in the Companies Act for misstatement in the prospectus. So whether it is true or false? Yes, it is true. Any person responsible for the issue of the prospectus containing dash statement of material facts may be punishable. Which type of the material facts? True statement, untrue statement, any statement, none of these. B point is the correct one. That is untrue statement. A prospectus containing false, misleading, ambiguous or fraudulent statement of material facts is termed as misleading prospectus. So whether it is true or false? Yes, it is true. Registrar of companies can refuse to register a prospectus if it it does not contain the consent in writing of directors. Yeah, whether it is true or false? Yes, it is true. Next one, civil liability includes the granting of a remedy, that is the payment of damages or compensation to the aggrieved party. Whether it is true or false? Yes, it is true. So you can check out the key answers relating to the multi-choice questions. Session outcomes are the students will be able to know the requirements for the issue of prospectus and the liability for misstatement in the prospectus. The learners will be able to know the legal requirements of the prospectus. So you can refer the following notebooks, textbooks for the company law and secretarial practice. Thanks for watching my video.